saw that you talked about Robinhood, and I've seen a lot of people make big profits investing in these meme stocks, and I know a lot of my friends and younger investors. There's a draw to these stocks. Do you have any tips? And some of my tips would be is have a plan. I think a lot of people go into these with kind of it's an easy way to get rich. I can hit a home run, and I know one of my friends, he invested in AMC and lost probably half of it in the first month. And he sat by his pit. He held on for dear life, and he got lucky when it rebounded in those last couple of weeks and took his profits and got out. But as a younger investor, it's handling those volatilities, and sometimes it costs money to learn these lessons. You got any tips for younger investors, Tom?
Yeah, I think it's kind of fun. It's a distortion. I worry a little bit about what that distortion means, for the market as a whole. Uh, but it's always the same issue. Yeah, you still have to get in early, right? And so that's not always easy. A lot of times, by the time you hear about it, unless you're really, really plugged in and really following things, you might miss out, and you get in towards the end. Because there's no justification for the pricing of AMC, for example, at all. Matter of fact, you can see that the insiders are selling their stock like mad, so they can't see it. And so theoretically, at some point in time, these things tend to work out, which would mean that that price would come back down. It could come back down fairly, radically at some point in time. Um, and so if you can get in early and you want to play the game, there's nothing wrong with playing games. Just keep your investments small. I mean, I have a client that invested $14,000 into Apple when it was falling apart and looked like it might go out of business before they got jobs back, and now it's worth $2.3 million. And so, keep the investments fairly small. If it's really going to work and it's really that great, you can generate a lot of money. Don't lose your net worth on these things. So that would be a tip. Just keep it small. If it's going to work, that small will still turn into something pretty substantial. I guess my biggest tip though is just be super careful, because right now what I'm seeing, I'm seeing the same thing. Cryptocurrency went from really Bitcoin to now what, over 5,000 different cryptocurrencies. When you dilute the market like that, what you're doing is diluting the supply to any one particular cryptocurrency. We're starting to see that with the meme stocks. We went from GameStop and AMC basically to now Wendy's and different stocks that are moving all over the place. And as soon as that starts to happen, there just aren't enough people to drive all of them. And so, is the one that you're investing in going to work? And would you do AMC right now? Personally, no. It's already had a huge run. So you're really looking for the next one. And is the next one going to run with everybody else being diluted by all these other different meme stocks? So, it's a game. I think it's fun to have, fun. We all spend money on different things that we have fun with, but I would keep the bets pretty small, just because you got to figure out how to get in early, and then getting out. That's not easy. Like your friend said, got in, hung in there, probably got lucky to a certain degree that it came back, but it's really difficult to get out at the right time and actually make a profit. So it's it's such a fast moving game. You're playing in the big leagues there. I hope it works.
Yeah, I guess you could talk about how it's like kind of like a bandwagon effect where
Yeah.
everyone's jumping on this
Yep.
bandwagon, and some people are going to get left on the bandwagon while everyone else jumps ship.
Yeah. I mean, are you on the side of the bandwagon, barely hanging on, or did you get on early and you got a nice seat? And so, and that's the key. That's true with all investing. Now, it's just exaggerated in the meme stocks because they move so fast. That's true in all investing. Did you get in, at an adequate time so that whatever run that stock might be having, you're still participating in that, or did you get in at the end of that run? And that's where you lose money, right? I mean, that's pretty easy to see, but and so that would be my strategy for looking at meme stocks, would be probably to ignore the ones that had already run, and I would get in on those, Reddit boards and what have your Wall Street bets, and I'd be just watching for what they were talking about, and I'd make small bets on, say, three or four different ones, that are not already running, and see if we could get in early enough on some of those other pieces. And if it didn't work out, okay, great. I'd love to see the logic behind it, although that might be a deterrent because I think there's not as much logic as there needs to be, and maybe you don't need logic if everybody starts buying it. It doesn't matter. So, I would probably be diversifying my bets, try to find two or three other stocks besides GameStop and AMC that I could get involved in and put some small bets on all of them and then see which one runs. If something does run, I might add to that bet. If I get one right, I might continue to add to that bet. And if something, doesn't, then, move on. Yeah.